Hello sports fans, it is Monday, January the 11th, the year 2016, and we are ready for the NFL Divisional round picks for the playoffs, so let's get it going right now. Great to be back with you guys. Let's start with the early game on Saturday where the New England Patriots are home, -5 against the Kansas City Chiefs. New England, of course, the 2 seed coming off a bye. Looks like Edelman will play. That will be a big boost to the New England offense. Remember, New England did not play well down the stretch. Blew home field to Denver. Kansas City has looked amazing. They blew out Houston over the weekend 30-0. Kansas City has won 11 games in a row. They are the hottest team in the NFL. They can do no wrong right now. We'll keep an eye on Macklin. He's got a sprained ankle. We'll see if he can get out there. That would be a big loss if he couldn't play for the Chiefs. This is a very interesting game. You got the hottest team in the NFL, Kansas City, against New England, who you never like to go against. They didn't look good at the end of the season, but now they get Edelman back. They are home, and just when you count New England out, they have a big performance. So this is a very strange game. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a field goal game either way. So I'm going to take Kansas City +5 here. I never like going against New England. If you ask me who was going to win, I'd probably say New England squeaks it out by 3. But I have to have respect for what Kansas City is doing. They've won 11 games in a row. They look good in all aspects. They look like a very together team. New England still got some question marks. The offensive line, the injuries. Edelman will get out there, but how is he going to play? New England didn't play well at the end of the season. Kansas City looks so together now, and I have to show them some respect, winning 11 games in a row. So I'm going to take Kansas City +5 here. I think it's a field goal game. I think it's a close game. I think it's a very intriguing game. I think New England probably squeaks it out, but I think Kansas City is good enough right now to cover this game. So I'm going to take Kansas City +5 at New England in a very fascinating game. The late game on Saturday, the Arizona Cardinals at home, -6.5 against the Green Bay Packers. Arizona, the 2 seed, they come off a bye week. Green Bay looked really good yesterday in plastering Washington 35-18. I'll tell you, Washington was up 11-0 early in this game. Probably should have been up by more. Jackson should have gotten the end zone. They missed an extra point. Should have been up more than 11-0, but still, Washington's up 11-0, and you're sitting there going, Washington's going to win this game. The crowd's going crazy. Washington looks good. Green Bay looked like a dead carcass in the first quarter, and then all of a sudden, the lights switched on, and Green Bay went on a tremendous run in this game. Outscored Washington 35-7 the rest of the way. Green Bay offense could do no wrong. Ran all over Washington. Rodgers did whatever he wanted passing the ball. The Green Bay defense stepped up, and Green Bay just smacked around Washington from the second quarter on. So a very impressive win by Green Bay. Washington looked a little green in this game. Looked like they weren't quite ready for prime time. Now listen, I know I heard Aaron Rodgers in the postgame saying, all right, we're back to being Green Bay. We're back to the old Green Bay. I'm not totally convinced. And I think it's asking a lot for Green Bay now to go to Arizona and beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals have had a tremendous year. They've had a week off. They had a week off to stew after they lost that last game to Seattle. Arizona just blew out Green Bay a few weeks ago. I don't think Green Bay is good enough to win this game, despite looking so good yesterday. I think Arizona's just better this year, so I'm going to take Arizona at home, -6.5 against Green Bay. I think the Cardinals are just a better team this year. Green Bay, I don't know if they could string performances together like this. I mean, remember, they've had performances here and there this year like that. Remember, they blew out Minnesota in Minnesota, and then they struggled after that. I think that's going to be what's going to happen here. Green Bay looked good yesterday, but I don't think they have enough to beat Arizona on the road. I just don't. So I'm going to take the Cardinals at home there. That's pick number 2. Pick number 3, let's go to the Sunday early game where the Carolina Panthers are at home, -3 against the Seattle Seahawks. Carolina, the 1 seed, coming off a bye, could do no wrong this year, lost only 1 game. Carolina, the story of the NFL. What a tremendous year they had. Seattle, let's be honest, they flat out escaped yesterday. Minnesota misses a chip shot field goal with basically no time left. Minnesota should have won this game. Give Seattle credit. They were resilient. They were down 9-0. They rallied in the fourth quarter. Wilson made that big play after the bad snap. He scrambled around, made the big touchdown throw, got them back in the game. They found a way to win Seattle in one of the coldest games in NFL history. They won a big road game, but let's be honest, they should have lost this game. Now, Seattle, I have nothing but respect for. You never count them out. I mean, they have so much playoff experience. They've been there before. The defense is always there for you. I just think this is Carolina's time right now. I mean, this is a huge rivalry in the last couple of years. These two teams do not like each other, have faced each other a bunch of times, a lot of bad blood in this series. Asking a lot. Seattle goes to Minnesota, wins a tough game they should have lost. They have to fly back home. Then they got to go all the way back down to Carolina. Carolina's been sitting there for 2 weeks ready to go. Carolina does not like Seattle. I think Carolina is going to win this game. I think it's their year this year to beat Seattle. I have nothing but respect for the Seahawks. I think it's going to be a knock 'em out, drag 'em out, tight defensive game. But when all said and done, Carolina wins by about 4 points. I like Carolina -3 against Seattle down in Carolina. That's pick number 3. Pick number 4, the late game on Sunday. Let's go to Denver, where the Denver Broncos are home, -7 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Denver, the 1 seed, they had the bye. Peyton Manning will be the starting quarterback. No surprise there. Steelers win that wacky and wild game in Cincinnati 18-16 where they kicked the field goal late. Cincinnati and their fans should be sick over this game. I mean, this was such a strange game. First of all, the Steelers are up 15-0 early in this game. They're dominating the game. Roethlisberger goes out with an injury. The game flips. Cincinnati ends up taking a 16-15 lead. And then Roethlisberger gets back in the game after Cincinnati fumbles trying to run out the clock. And then Roethlisberger leads them down for the game-winning field goal drive as Cincinnati's committing personal fouls all over the field. I mean, Cincinnati just an awful job at the end of this game. No discipline, terrible penalties. They fumble the ball. By the way, what was Cincinnati doing on that 2-point conversion, by the way, when they were up 16-15? They go for 2 and they run like a backwards lateral play that had no chance of getting in. And why is A.J. Green not on the field there? A.J. Green just scored a touchdown to put Cincinnati up 16-15. He's your best receiver. The Steelers don't have a great pass defense. A.J. Green celebrating on the sidelines, and he's not out there for the 2-point conversion. I have no clue why he wasn't out there. And Cincinnati runs that ridiculous backwards pass that gets stuffed and keeps the game at 1 point. I don't get that at all. I don't know what Tomlin was doing for the Steelers going for 2 early in the game. He's been way too cute with the 2-point conversion all year. That's going to come back to bite him in a big spot. But this game had so many twists and turns and wild stuff in the fourth quarter. Cincinnati has no one to blame but themselves. Totally undisciplined. Terrible penalties. Just awful job by the Bengals. And another thing. Terrible job by some of the Bengal fans. I mean, most of the NFL fans are great. Cincinnati Bengal fans are great, but you always get a couple hundred, idiots in the crowd at every stadium. I don't care where you are. There's always a couple hundred idiots at every stadium. Now, I don't want to hear that alcohol is to blame. Being drunk is no excuse to act like a fool. Some of the Cincinnati Bengal fans were throwing full water bottles on the field. When Roethlisberger got hurt, first of all, they were cheering the injury, which is not classy at all. Then they were throwing full water bottles at him. Then when Cincinnati was getting the personal foul calls against them, they were throwing full water bottles in the end zone. Terrible job by some of those Cincinnati Bengal fans. And like I said, the Bengal fans are great, but you always get a couple hundred fools in every stadium. There's a lot of video surveillance at these stadiums now. I would wish they could pick out these guys in the crowd and ban these guys from ever coming to an NFL football game again. You can't start heaving full water bottles at players and refs. Just terrible behavior. Pick those guys out if you can on video and ban them from going to any NFL game around the country. I mean, that was deplorable by some of the Cincinnati fans. So just heartbreaking again for the Bengals to lose yet another game to the Steelers in this awful fashion. As far as this game, I think it's asking a lot for Pittsburgh to go to Denver with a wounded Roethlisberger and win this game. Roethlisberger has a sprained shoulder. You don't know how far he's going to be able to throw. And Denver's got the best defense in football. They're home in that altitude with that defense. I cannot see Pittsburgh winning this game. I know Roethlisberger will get out there. He's a tough guy. It's asking a lot for Pittsburgh to win this game with a banged-up Roethlisberger. And the Pittsburgh backup running backs, by the way, they filled in nicely, had a really nice game filling in for Williams and Bell. That wasn't the problem. The problem now is going to be Roethlisberger and throwing the ball. Plus, the Steelers score a lot more points at home than on the road, and I don't trust the Steelers defense in a big spot. on the road against Peyton Manning in Denver. I don't expect the Steelers to do much here. I really don't. I think Denver wins this game. I like Denver at home, -7 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'll tell you, as you look at the AFC, you could easily have Manning or Brady in the Super Bowl again. I mean, here we go again. I mean, these guys could possibly end up in the Super Bowl again. Unbelievable. So that is my picks for the divisional round of the playoffs. Should be some good games, very intriguing games. That Carolina-Seattle game should be a knock-em-out, drag-em-out type of game. New England-Kansas City game is fascinating because how hot Kansas City is. And then you see if Arizona and Denver could hold serve at home. So it should be some good stuff as we are winding down in the NFL season. Hard to believe next week we will be in the conference championship games. So that's your NFL. Remember to watch the college football championship tonight. Should be a good one. Alabama against Clemson. I think this is going to be a close game. I think Alabama is going to pull it out by like 3 points. The spread's a little high. Spread 7, not giving Clemson all that much respect. I think it's going to be closer than that, but I do think Alabama pulls it out. Should be a really good game. Key to the game, the Alabama defense and that defensive front against Watson, who is a mobile quarterback and who can also throw. That is the intriguing matchup. Whoever wins that matchup will win the game. So you make sure you watch that college football championship game tonight. You guys, thanks as always for the support. You have the picks for this week. Enjoy the college football playoff tonight. You guys, like I said, thanks for the support. Thanks for all the messages. You guys stay happy, healthy, and safe. Pick a lot of winners. Make a lot of money. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Take care.